Welcome to our Reflection for Learning series, where we are aiming to support learners and teachers with online reflection. For this session, we are focusing on using images as reflective prompts. Those images can be gathered from anywhere, from magazines that you have, photos that you have, free postcards that are distributed for publicity purposes, images that you find online. And that's certainly what we're going to be encouraging today. So how do you share images with your students or colleagues online? I have personally been using a product called Padlet, and there are other alternatives as well. What I have done is gone to Padlet and pre-populated it with a whole range of images that I can then share with my students or colleagues in this case. Once I have collected my images, I then share a Padlet link with my students or my colleagues, and I ask them to select an image that they might like to reflect on. So here we go. I have images. I will show what those images are with you now. And I ask my colleagues to reflect on, what does reflective practice mean? What does it mean to you? Go to the Padlet site. I have given you the link to my collection of images as reflective prompts. Scroll around that page, find an image that you are attracted to, and I'm going to give you, we're going to accelerate it. So I'm only going to give you a minute right now to think about how this might represent or prompt you to think about, what does reflection mean? So while my colleagues are reflecting, I am just scrolling through my web page of some of the images that I have uploaded as reflective prompts. Is there any rhyme or reason to them? There doesn't have to be. It's what attracted me on the day that I created the site. So in a class, I would go around, particularly if it's a smaller group tutorial or seminar, and ask each person to share their image and explain what this prompted in their mind as they were reflecting on, in this case, what does reflective practice mean? So I'm going to go to my colleagues now and invite a person, if they could share their image, tell us which image they chose, and explain how that image links to their thinking about reflective practice. So I'm waiting for a volunteer. We've got Kate.
I'm happy to. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
Thank you.
And the image that I was drawn to was this one here with the lightning over the city and the reflections.
Yep.
And I think what drew me to it was reflective practice for me is something that I do as an individual, but what makes it special for me is undertaking reflective practice as a group. And so it's when I'm listening to what others are reflecting on about their own experience that sometimes I get these lightning bolts and understand things from multiple perspectives. And that's what I love about reflective practice, because it makes me look beyond my own understanding, and it opens up so many other, sometimes reflections, like, on the water that are similar to mine, but other times it's quite a lightning bolt of a different perspective.
Thank you for sharing that connection there that you've made, Kate. It's interesting that a simple prompt such as an image can in fact trigger some really deep thinking and thoughts about reflective practice. And I encourage this activity for anybody out there who's supporting learning. All the details of the activity are found in our practice guide, which is freely available for you to download. And if you do engage in these activities, we'd love to hear from you. And you could do that by emailing us on the address that you can see on your screen now. Thank you, and happy reflective activities to you.